and welcome to card 6 of my fall series for this year. Today I want to share with you how I created this really cute Halloween card using some awesome products from Simon Says Stamp. So let's get into it. Today I'm using the If the Hat Fits stamp set and the Handlettered Halloween stamp set. Both of these were released, I believe, not last year, but the year before during Stamptember, and I was super excited to use these. This is the first time I've actually used these stamps, and I had so much fun playing with them that I ended up making another card, what I'll share later on this week or beginning of next. I've just got some black cardstock here, watercolor cardstock, excuse me, and I just outlined the area that I'm going to be cutting out a little bit later, just so I know where I need to place my images so that I get a really good mix and good spacing between them. I just covered my panel with some anti-static powder because I am planning on heat embossing. Lining up my stamps here so that I get, I like to have as much of the witch hat as possible, and I'd like to have quite a few just to kind of fill up the scene. Now, I had attempted to create this card a little bit before, and it didn't work out very good. I had a hard time stamping it. I think it was because the watercolor cardstock is really heavy and textured, so I didn't stamp it very well, and so I decided to start again, and I'm going to stamp them twice. I did 2 stampings on each just to make sure that I had a really good impression each time. I'm going to be using some sterling silver embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. This is a really nice embossing powder. At first I had thought about maybe doing white, but I wanted to keep the metallic look that's going to go really well with my metallic watercolors that I'm going to use later. Brush away any stray embossing powder that I don't want, and I'm going to stamp all of my images first before I heat emboss. This just helps me get everything placed the way I want. If I mess up, I can brush away the embossing powder and heat up the panel and start over again. I really like these witch hats. I think they're super cute. I was really excited whenever I went through my stash and pulled this out. It is so cute, and I don't really do a whole lot of Halloween cards, if you noticed. Last year I did my very first Halloween card. I'll make sure to link it for you guys. And I fell in love with this set, and I really wanted to use it, but I was like, what am I going to make? Why do I need a Halloween card? Do I know anybody who would like a Halloween card? And I started thinking through some of my friends and family, and I realized that I do have quite a few people that would enjoy a card like this. And I think this one lends itself to, yes, you can create it to look like a Halloween card, but you can also turn it into a birthday card or a thinking of you or something like that. If somebody enjoys Halloween, I think they would like this. And I'm just heating it up with my heat gun. This is a brand new heat gun I just purchased. My other one was starting to kind of die and take forever to heat up. This one's made by Wagner, and it's really, really good. I like it a lot. It heats up really quickly, and it helps, keep the process going. And I really, really like it. I highly recommend it. Get all that nice and melted. And I really love this silver embossing powder on top of this dark cardstock. I think it looks really, really vibrant. I have a few more places that I wanted to add some more hats near the bottom just to kind of fill up the panel, because where I marked those pencil lines around the die cut that I'm going to be using, or my die that I'm going to be using, I wanted to make sure it was nice and filled up. Put those 2 hats in there and stamp it down. I'm not sure about you guys, but I hope this weather starts cooling off. First we had a ton of rain last week, and now it is just sweltering hot here in central Pennsylvania. I can't believe how hot it is. I think this is the hottest it's been all summer. And it stinks because it's the end of the summer and now it's super hot and we're all just waiting for fall. But hopefully it cools down by next week. I'll be super excited for that. Get my get my embossing powder put away, and we can get this last 2 portions heated up. Again, I really am enjoying this heat gun. This is the first time that I've used it, so I should have a better review for you later on after I've used it a few times. Going to get into the painting, I'm going to be using my Art Philosophies metallic watercolor set. I'm going to put on some music throughout the painting, and once it's all finished, we'll come back and finish up this card together. Now that I have all the main painting finished up, I wanted to add some splatter to this card. I loved all of the metallic colors, and I felt like it would add to the scene and give a little bit more interest to the background. I'm just using the same metallic colors and the same uh, colors that I chose, and I'm just splattering them on the background here. And I love the way that this turned out. I think it really adds some interest and kind of finishes it off. I feel like it's my own personal pattern paper. And I gotta get myself a splat box or some kind of shield or something like that to splatter in, because I get it everywhere. I still have it everywhere. I pick up my tools and some of my more commonly used items that I leave out, and they're covered in metallic paint or gouache or anything else that I've got out that I'm splattering. It's just coated. And I really like the way that this turned out. I think it's super shiny. It adds that shimmer that I really, really like. And splattering has become one of my new favorites. I really like adding it to my cards. I have to thank Amy Rasavi for that. I love watching all of her cards. Now that that's all dry, I made sure it was completely dry before I decided to do my die cutting. And I'm just using a rectangular, A2 stacked die from Waffle Flour. Run that through my die cutting machine, and we'll be ready to create our greeting for this card. I love the way that this turned out. So fun. So shimmery. Love it. Next we're going to get into creating our greeting. I am taking a circle die from Waffle Flower and I want to create a greeting on top of this panel that doesn't take away from what's going on. So I'm going to be using some vellum. This is some vellum that I've had in my stash for quite a while. I believe it's 40-pound vellum. I'm not 100% sure where I got it from, but there's lots of great vellum out in the market right now. So I'm just cutting down the size of the pieces that I need because I want to double stack this vellum so that you can read the sentiment really well, but you can also still see the images beneath. Working with vellum can be kind of difficult, especially when you're using adhesive. If you have some sort of a Xyron sticker maker or something like that, I think that would work great for adhering it. But I don't have one of those, unfortunately, so I will be using some liquid glue. First, I'm going to take that circle die cut and I'm going to add my greeting to it. And I just love this greeting from this stamp set. This came from the same hat stamp set from Simon that says we all have a bit of magic in us. And I just love that. It makes me think of Hocus Pocus. One of my favorite Halloween movies. Again, I'm not much of a Halloween person. I don't really like the horror that comes with Halloween and, you know, all of that. But Hocus Pocus, I watch it every year. It is my favorite film and I can't wait for the new one to come out. I'll be excited for that. Heating this up with my heat gun, and I'm heating it from the back so I don't scorch any of the embossing powder. I'm using that same sterling silver embossing powder. And I love the way that this turns out. Again, I had thought about using white, but I wanted to stick with that same silver. And I'm going to be using this new adhesive that I recently purchased. It's called Barely Art adhesive, and I really like it. It comes with all of these different types of nozzles and tips, so you could do details and all of that, and a little needle to help unclog it. And it's really nice adhesive. I really like it. It dries pretty quickly, and it adheres really strong, and it dries clear. So I do like it. I think I'll still use my Tombow, but this is really, really nice as well. I am enjoying using it. Now I just added a little bit of adhesive behind my embossed sentiment there. You can see it a little bit, the adhesive behind it. I wasn't too worried about it. You end up, it's not really that noticeable once it's on top of that background panel. There's so much going on there that you can't really tell. And I just love the way that that looks. Super fun. Going to get my card base ready here. This is some 110-pound cardstock from Simon, and I'm scoring it to create a top folding A2 sized card. And I wanted to stamp my greeting on the inside before we started attaching everything else. I'm going to be taking a sentiment from the hand-lettered Halloween stamp set from Simon that says Happy Halloween. And I'm going to also stamp down the little spider in there as well. I don't particularly like spiders, but I think adding this one to this stamp or to this greeting really adds to the Halloween feel, and it kind of pulls the spiders back in from the witch hats on the front of the card too. I'm going to be stamping it down using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. This is a nice dark ink, and I wanted to make sure I had a nice black ink so that I can draw a line from the spider up to the greeting so it looks like he kind of came down from the greeting. And I'm just going to be using a black pen that I have in my stash. This is a envelope pen. I think it's a waterproof pen. It's a really nice black pen. But again, you could use anything that you have. You don't have to necessarily have a special crafting pen. Any kind of nice fine-tipped pen will work out fine. And I'm going to use my T-square ruler to help make sure I get a nice straight line coming off of that spider. And I love the way that this turned out. Looks really, really cute. Love how he's just hanging off there. My little boy likes spiders. He likes to look at them. He doesn't like them to come near him or to be on him, but he likes to look at them. And I'm just going to use that same Barely Art adhesive to attach my back panel here. And again, I am enjoying this adhesive. I think it sticks really well. It's very strong. And I like all of the different nozzles that you can get with it. And I'm just going to go through and attach our greeting here. And I'm just going along and adding little dots behind that greeting so that it kind of helps hide the adhesive. Now again, if I had some like double-sided adhesive or something like that, I think it would work out really good. Get that attached right in the center. Love it, super cute. And I didn't really like the way that those vellum circles were kind of lifting up on the sides, so I just added a tiny bit of glue along the edge. And you can't really tell, I end up covering it up with some Nouveau crystal drops in Simply White and Ebony Black. I really think that this adds just a nice bit of dimension to this card. It is a one-layer card, so adding a little bit of interest with some of those Nouveau drops I think really helps kind of round it out. You can't really see them too much on the background, but when you tilt it into the light, you can see that dimension. Just making sure that that vellum circle is attached nicely. And that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this cute Halloween card. I had a lot of fun making it. Considering I don't do a whole lot of Halloween, this one turned out really, really great. My husband thought it was awesome, and I really enjoyed creating it. I hope you guys liked it as well. If you did, hit the like button, as well as the subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel. I'll see you again real soon. Bye! On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.